besties! If you're new here, my name's Lottie, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. As some of you may know, the past few weeks have just been a bit of a mess for me. Lately, I've had some stuff going on in my personal life that's been stressful. I've had a ton of work responsibilities. I've been traveling a ton for a bunch of different obligations, none of which were a vacation. And then to top it all off, I got super sick last week. I am feeling better now though. But all that to say, I've just been feeling really stretched thin and just not quite myself lately. I've been feeling a little bit uninspired, kind of burnt out. So I realized I needed a little bit of a reset. You guys know I love a good reset vlog. Just a soft, low pressure kind of reset. Something to just help me feel a bit more grounded and feel a bit like myself again. So in today's video, I'm gonna be focusing on a few different areas. I'm gonna be doing a few different things to kind of like reset my space. I also wanna be more intentional about taking better care of my body. And I wanna focus on just recharging my mind. I have so many ideas of things I can do in this vlog to kind of help me get reset. And I'm really excited to tackle them with you. It's gonna be a cozy mix of kind of getting back into a routine, some decluttering, and just leaning into some simple things that make me happy. So if you've been feeling a little bit off too, I hope this video feels like a warm comfort. Let's do this together. I'm not doing like everything today because that is the opposite of the point of this video. We're just kind of taking it slow and resetting and making time for things to help me get back on track. We'll try to timestamp out some of my activities and stuff, but we're going to kind of be rotating different activities that fall underneath all of the different categories because I didn't want to be too rigid or have too much structure in this. Like I said, I've been feeling this way for a while now, and I was kind of like crashing out, honestly, like a week and a half ago or so. So I booked a hair appointment to go get my hair refreshed, and I actually vlogged that, and I thought it was going to go in another video, but I thought it'd be fun to just include the footage of my hair appointment in this video because I feel like anytime I just get way too in my head, going to get a haircut always makes me feel better. So let's roll those clips and then we'll get on with the rest of the reset. I get a really light amount of balayage on my hair. Like when I pull my hair out like this, you can kind of see, but I feel like when it lays on my head, like I feel like it looks really natural, really lived in. So I kind of just like let it grow out as long as I want to before I go back. But it's been about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months since I've gone. So we're going to update my balayage. Honestly, probably just do the same thing. I really love the way that my color has like looked ever since I started going to see Sarah. And then I've really been debating going back and forth on if I want to chop my hair back off and do my little bob again. I think I'm going to keep growing it out. I am just kind of in the mood to just keep growing it out for now. I feel like I can always go back to the bob, but I don't want to get rid of the progress I've made because I really have to like convince myself not to cut it all back off like every week. And I feel like it's finally kind of getting through the awkward stage. So I may get like a little trim, but I do think I may get Sarah to kind of cut some more face framing pieces. We'll see. This is just, I'm just yapping now. But that's my plan for this afternoon. So I'll bring you guys along with me. Guys, I'm on my way home now. I'm literally at the longest red light ever, so I'm probably gonna have to throw the camera down in a second once it turns green. I want to let you know I'm racing home to get to dinner on time, but I'm so obsessed with my hair. Okay, the next thing I want to do in this vlog to help recharge my mind is read a book together. You guys know I always love incorporating reading vlogs into my vlogs, and this one's no different, but this one's a little bit special because I can't just read any old book to get out of a rut. I need to read a book that I'm excited about that I think has 5-star potential, you know? So I thought we could read the new Emily Henry release together in this video. Emily Henry is one of my favorite authors, and just for this part of the video, I put on my written by Emily Henry sweatshirt. Honestly, it's hard for me to rank Emily Henry's books. I feel like they're all so different, but 2 of my favorites are probably Beach Read and Funny Story. But I just love her writing style. I'm a huge fan of women's fiction in general as a genre, and I just love the way that she kind of blends romance with women's fiction. I'm sure you know what this book is about. Everyone's talking about it. It follows Alice and Hayden, who are 2 writers competing to tell the story of Margaret Ives, this reclusive heiress who no one's heard from in a really long time. But she used to be like a tabloid darling. So you're mostly just following Alice as she competes against Hayden and learns more about Margaret. I actually have already started this one. I am probably like a third of the way through so far, so I thought I'd go ahead and give you first impressions. Okay, so first of all, why didn't no one tell me that this book is set in coastal Georgia? If you didn't know, I live in Atlanta, and every year my family and I go to coastal Georgia for our beach vacation. So this is just like, so I can smell it, I can feel it, like I am there. It's on some fictional island that doesn't really exist, Little Crescent Island, but I grew up and always go to St. Simon's Island, and I can definitely see some similarities. So that alone is making making it so much fun for me. But they're staying on Little Crescent Island for the month while they kind of do this competition. I think how I'm feeling about Great Big Beautiful Life, I know it's had a lot of mixed reviews, but I am really enjoying the book so far. Her writing just feels like coming home to me. It's so easy to read. Somehow it's like brain off writing, but it's still really good writing. Like there's brain off writing that reads a little bit more like a Hallmark movie, and then there's brain off writing that just like flows with how your brain thinks. And that is more what Emily Henry is for me. It's just like she says it the way that I think it. And so it just flows. I will say I feel like Alice is kind of falling for Hayden a little too quickly. So interested to see just how that whole dynamic plays out. I know a lot of people feel a little stuck, like the romance isn't fully played out because we're focusing a lot on Margaret Ives' story. But then Margaret Ives' story isn't fully played out because that's not like the whole point of the book. So I think a lot of readers felt kind of like pulled in two directions and that like neither really satisfied them. So I'm kind of on the watch out for that as I keep reading. Oh, and I will say I have the audiobook. Thank you to Libro FM. So I may be listening to it some over the next few days as well, especially for getting through some of the Margaret like backstory chapters. I have really loved switching over to the audio for those. But for now, I have a couple hours. So I think I'm just gonna sit here and try to make some more progress on the book. I'm on chapter 14, page 145. So we'll see how many pages I can get through in the next like hour and a half. Let's get back to reading. Okay, I've been reading for the past like hour and a half. I got through about 70 pages. So I went from being a third of the way through the book to now just about halfway through the book. And I'm starting to feel a little bit differently. I am getting a little bored. I feel like the first 100 pages was very interesting. It set it up well. We got a good mix of what's going on for Alice, her relationship with Hayden, and then also the story from Margaret. But I feel like we're just starting to get so much Margaret that I just kind of don't care. And there are these really great moments of writing, almost like very poetic, either woven in through Alice's narrative and how she's describing something because she's a writer and she'll kind of talk about that process or her history with like that and whatever, or it'll be something from Margaret that's kind of poetic. And there are these nice little moments, but overall it's a lot of Margaret. And I feel like a lot of Margaret's chapters are very like telling and not showing. They're not very immersive. And to be fair, that is Alice and Hayden's job to kind of take what Margaret tells them and turn it into a compelling story. But that's why I'm just like not that interested in reading the Margaret chapters. It's not been turned into anything all that interesting yet. You're just kind of getting cold hard facts. My interest is waning slightly, which is a disappointing update. The writing is still great though, and I am enjoying myself. That's my Great Big Beautiful Life update. I'll keep you posted. You may have also noticed that I changed outfits. So the next thing that we're doing to reset is I'm gonna go get my nails done. I haven't had them done in like 3 weeks, so I'm gonna go pick out a new color, just freshen up the nails. Nothing helps me feel more like rejuvenated than just getting a fresh manicure. So I'm really excited to go do that. I'm actually gonna go with my friend Abigail, and then Abigail and my boyfriend Anders and I are all gonna get dinner after. So that's the plan for tonight. Let's go get some fresh nails.
Hi vlog, I'm here at the nail bar, just waiting.
It's a video. Good morning, everyone. It is a gloomy, rainy Sunday morning. I'm so excited for today. Just a rainy Sunday is perfect. So the next thing I want to do to kind of take care of my body in today's video is go work out. And I actually recently tried a brand new workout class called Body Rock. It is Pilates, basically. It's very similar to Solid Core, which I had been going to for about the past year. My friend tried Body Rock and really loved it. And so I've been going with her and we've been having a lot of fun going together. So we booked a class for 10 a.m. this morning. This will be my third class, I think, ever at Body Rock. So I'm still kind of figuring everything out, but I'm having so much fun with it. And and it's been so great kind of getting back into more of a workout routine. Today's class is a core and cardio sculpt full body. We haven't tried like the cardio sculpt classes, so we're a little bit nervous because I think they're a bit more intense than just the regular kind of strength training ones that we usually go to. We're gonna get our heart rates up a little bit, probably get a little bit more sweaty than usual, but I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm really excited to go just kind of take care of my body. I love workout classes because they kind of hold you accountable for one, and then also it's great to go with friends, and that's a super fun way to just get to see people that you love and like make time to hang out, but also make time for yourself. And then I also love like putting my phone in the locker and just like disconnecting, because of course it's great how accessible so many workout classes on YouTube, Peloton, all of these apps and stuff are. I love them, don't get me wrong, but there is just something that I really love about being able to put my phone away, and I can't even do that when I go to the gym by myself because I'm using my phone for the music, and sometimes I have like my plan written out in my notes app, and it's just like really nice to just put the phone away for an hour. So let's go to Body Rock.
Good morning, vlog. We're going to Pilates.
Yay.
We're a little nervous.
For our cardio class.
We're going to our first cardio Pilates class, and we're a little nervous, but we're gonna crush it.
Okay, we've survived our cardio sculpt class. It really was not bad.
No, I actually really liked it, the jump. So there's like a jump board. I just had heard that term, but I didn't know what that was. It's basically just like a board that's like vertical on the machine, and it was really fun.
Yeah, and there was just a few more like cardio circuits where we were doing things as fast as we could instead of as slow as we could, like tricep dips and things like that, to just get our heart rates up a little bit, but it wasn't like the whole class. So it was nice. I got sweatier, but I feel like, I don't know, sometimes it's nice to get sweaty.
Yeah, also I noticed when we came in that the room was like already a lot colder
Mm-hmm.
than it normally is for a class, which I appreciated.
We love Body Rock. It's our new obsession.
We love Body Rock.
So
we're addicted. It's
yeah.
so fun.
All right, it's a few hours later now, and I'm still enjoying my cozy Sunday. The workout class this morning was so nice. It's just such a good reminder that getting back in a workout routine really does improve your mental health. So we're continuing the self-care Sunday with some reading. I have been listening to Great Big Beautiful Life just while I was drying my hair. I showered when I got back from the workout class, put on a little bit of makeup. So I've been listening, and I'm very close to the end now. I'm on page 381, and I think there's like just over 400 pages. So let's sit here and finish up this book, and then I'm going to give you all of my thoughts. I thought about just giving you an update now, but I'm like, I feel like I don't have much left, and my thoughts probably won't change that much, and it'll be nice to have all the information to give you my final thoughts. I'm going to sit here and finish this book up, and then we'll talk all about it. And I have my cozy blanket, I have my ambiance on. It's just spectacular. The vibes, immaculate.
Has she been reading? Has she been on TikTok?
Yeah.
You deleted TikTok, right?
Okay, I finished Great Big Beautiful Life, and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think one of the really hard things about rating Emily Henry's books for me personally is that she is one of my favorite authors. So when I read her books, oftentimes, especially at this point in her career, I think it's easy to compare this book to like all of her books, you know, where it's like, where does this fall on my Emily Henry ranking scale? And like, what does that mean about how I feel about the book? But for me, at least, it's like a very narrow margin between all of her books. Like, I just really like all of them. They're fun. Some of them I love, some of them I really like. This is one I just kind of really like. It was good. It didn't blow me out of the water. I'm not like obsessed. It's not my new favorite book, but it was good and I liked it. I will say I did really like the pacing of switching between Alice's kind of narrative story, and then there are these chapters called like The Story. Those are more of like Margaret Ives' story. I felt like by the time I was sick of Margaret's story, we got back to Alice's, and by the time that got boring, we were going back to Margaret's. So I felt like that worked out well. I also did really enjoy Margaret as a character too. I thought she was really interesting, kind of just this larger than life person, but I liked like hearing her talk to Alice more than I liked the like story chapters. I felt like the ones just with like the story, they felt a lot like of telling and not enough showing. And they just got a little technical, I feel like at times with like the family history. I thought that we were going to get a little bit more drama or scandal. And I felt like it was building up to this big thing. And like there was a twist at the end. And I found that twist overall pretty satisfying. I just thought there was going to be more like salacious like gossip where, I don't know, I think just seeing it from the inside kind of cracked that. And maybe that was kind of the point, is like nothing is as glamorous or crazy as like the media makes it seem. I think I was just waiting on some like big drama. And yes, there was a lot of like crazy stuff that happened, but we did kind of like ease into it a lot. But I did feel overall pretty satisfied with the twist. I like the way that Emily Henry tied kind of like the emotional impact of the twist on Alice and Hayden to like the larger story and like kind of what they'd been feeling throughout the whole book. Emily Henry's writing is just always a standout to me. It's so comforting and cozy, but still very like clever, very clear. And it almost always does a great job kind of blending lighter humor with some more emotional stuff too. So even though Great Big Beautiful Life was a little bit disappointing, I think the only reason I'm saying it's disappointing is just because it's not like one of my new top favorite Emily Henry books. You know what I mean? I think it's cool that Emily Henry was trying something new with this one, and I'm excited to read whatever she writes next. Okay, next up on my getting out of a rut to-do list is cleaning up some clutter from my mind and from my space. I just have those things in the back of my head that I've been meaning to do for weeks now, and I want to just do them. And one of those things is cleaning out our junk drawer. I feel like every good home has a good junk drawer. They're a necessary evil, but I do think they need to be cleaned out every now and then. I like for it to be, organized chaos. So Anders has volunteered to help me clean out our junk drawer, which is very kind of him. And I saw this series on TikTok where it's like doing things I've been avoiding for however many weeks or months or years, and then comparing how long it actually took me to do it. That's how I feel about this task. We're gonna tackle that. Took 15 minutes and I've been avoiding it for months, if not over a year. So the drawer, I'm not gonna give you a full tour because like it's a junk drawer. It's boring, but it's much more organized now. Feeling very accomplished. Thank you for your help, Anders. Okay, I'm feeling unburdened now that we cleaned out the junk drawer. And honestly, I want to keep these good vibes going. Something else that's been on my to-do list for forever is to cancel a couple subscriptions. And you're probably like, oh, is she about to go into a Rocket Money spiel? No, this is not sponsored. This is just something that's been on my mind lately because I feel like I keep getting charged for a few random things that I've just forgotten to cancel over the past few months, and it's time. So I actually want to like pause or cancel my Illumicrate Afterlight subscription. It's like the adult romance subscription from Illumicrate. I'm just like not reading those books. I just was kind of trying it to see like how often I get something I'm really excited for, if I end up reaching for them or not, whatever. And I've had it for about 6 months now, and there've only been 2 books that I am genuinely like really excited for. One of those was First Time Caller by BK Borison, and I already read that one. And then the other is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. And I didn't get to that one at Christmas because the shipping gets so delayed. Like I got that Christmas book like at the end of December, and then I just didn't have time to read it during the holiday season. So I'm gonna try to read it this upcoming holiday season. But that's the only other one that I'm like super excited for that I've gotten out of like probably 6 or 7 books the past few months. So I think I just want to pause it or cancel it. I initially wanted to get on the Illumicrate subscription thing so that I could get access to some of the other Illumicrate exclusive books. But then when the Illumicrate exclusive Great Big Beautiful Life came out, I didn't even like reach to go get it. Like I was just like, It's hard because a lot of times you have to order those special editions before the book even really comes out. So you don't know if you're gonna like want a special edition. Because if something's like my new favorite book of all time, I may want like a couple different fun special editions. If it's not a book I'm like completely obsessed with, then I'm not gonna want to get the special edition. So I was just kind of like, I'm gonna wait and see. And now I don't think I can get it anymore. So I'm just kind of like, that model and format doesn't really work for me. And I mean, honestly, when it comes to special editions, I think it can be way more fun to get like a UK edition and then get like a small business to do like custom sprayed edges or something and kind of like create your own special edition, or get like a rebinding on Etsy, something like that. I think that can be a lot more meaningful, and it's really great to support small businesses like that. I have not been able to get off the Fairy Loot wait list either, but I don't read enough fantasy. I want to have access to these special editions that they put on sale. Like I really want the 7-year slip special edition, like the pink hardcover one. It's so pretty, but you have to like be a Fairy Loot subscriber to then get get access to like buy those. So it's just, yeah, a little bit frustrating, a little bit of a mess. But that was like why I initially signed up for Afterlight. So I'm going to cancel that from Illumicrate. I also want to cancel my Solid Core subscription if I can, but I really want to switch and become a member at Body Rock now instead, because I've just been having so much fun going there and it's been such a great part of my routine. So I also think I need to email Solid Core about that. So those are the two we're going to start with, and then we'll see if there's anything else that comes up. Okay, I don't even know what email account I use to sign up for any of these, so stand by while I figure that out. Okay, so I am going to be getting the May book, which will be here next week. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, cancel. There it is. Okay. Found the button. They always make it really small. Okay, we successfully canceled Afterlight, Illumicrate. Sorry to see me go. Nothing against book subscription boxes, honestly. I'm not reading them. So now let's try to cancel Solid Core, which I went on the app the other day and it was telling me I needed to email someone. Okay, I'm literally gonna lie in my email and say that I'm moving, because this is a good hack if you need to cancel a gym membership or any kind of something, because they really can't argue with you on if you're moving. So I'm just like, I'm moving to a new city. There's not a Solid Core there. Please cancel it for me. We'll see if that works. It says you may be asked to provide appropriate documentation if requesting to terminate your membership outside our standard policies. I did not read that. I'm just trying to get out of this subscription, you guys. Why do they make it so hard? Okay, well, I think that's all I can do for now. I have to wait on them to reply. Literally just spending 15 minutes with you guys, cleaning out the junk drawer and canceling bunches of my subscriptions has just like lifted a weight off of me. It's definitely making me want to like do more things like this, but I think just getting in the momentum and the habit of doing little things like this makes it easier to want to tackle them like a little bit each day, which I think is a much more sustainable way to do it anyway. I think what I want to do for the rest of the night is just get cozy. So I'm going to go take off my makeup, put on my PJs. Okay, I'm back and we are proper cozy now. I got my makeup off, PJs on, glasses on. It's a vibe. I love Sunday nights where I don't put pressure on myself to like get ahead. Like honestly, if I were putting pressure on myself right now, I'd probably even start editing this video or be like filming another one. But right now I'm just slowing down a little bit, give myself enough time to just like enjoy life, sit back, relax, unwind. And that's what tonight's about. I've been wanting to try needlepoint for a long time now. This is the needlepoint starter canvas that I have. It is a little tulip, which I just think is so adorable for spring, and I need to do it before spring's over. So this is the beginner canvas that I got. It's from caseyneedlepoint.com. I feel like with all my free time, I've just been working on YouTube. And while I love working on YouTube, obviously I'm filming a video now, I've been really putting a lot of pressure on myself to grow my channel and post more than once a week. And so with any free time, I just would be like filming an extra video or going ahead and editing one to like keep that pace up. And right now I'm just trying to slow down just a little bit. I watched some videos about needlepoint and like how to do it when I ordered these, but I'm definitely going to need a refresher. I don't remember it being very complicated or difficult. It honestly seems very similar to just like paint by numbers, but with threads. I realized the lighting was better this way, so new angle. But yeah, I'm really excited. I have my canvas and then I also have my thread here. I have some other little things. I got this. I don't even remember what it is. I just remember knowing I needed it. So I ordered this. It also came with this like lanyard and I was like, what is this? And I figured out it's scissors. Yeah, this little keychain turns into these little scissors, which I think I'll use with the thread. And then the canvas comes with a little needle right here. I've heard the most about the continental stitch and that I should probably just do my entire first project with this. I'm gonna do some research. In terms of like crafty hobbies like this, I have tried knitting and crochet and neither really stuck with me. So I feel like maybe this one will stick with me. Gift giving is one of my biggest love languages. So if I can get a craft going where I can like make things for people, I just know it'll be my jam. I think it'd be so much fun to make like needlepoint ornaments for people. And I could start doing that like now and start making ornaments for people for Christmas or making like little keychains for people's birthdays or something. Obviously I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I am definitely inspired with needlepoint. I feel like there's so many cute different canvases that I would love to do. And it kind of just feels like paint by number where I think it can be a little bit more mindless. Part of the reason I struggled with crochet, I could do it, but I had a really hard time picking it up and putting it down. It was like I wanted to finish the project in one sitting and that just wasn't sustainable. It hurt my hands and it just like took over my life. I did one crochet project and I was like, this was fun. I know I can do this. I don't really enjoy this. I don't want to do this more. So respectfully, I admire all my crochet queens. I love the look of crochet things, but it's just not for me. And then with knitting, it was just something that was kind of like taught to me before I kind of had my own genuine interest in learning it. And that kind of ruined it for me. I think with hobbies, you have to like get into it and learn it on your own for it to be something that can really last. And I just remember with knitting being like, I don't really see the appeal here and like not really understanding like why this was such a fun hobby for so many people. And so I just never really stuck with it. So that's why I think needlepoint could be a really good one for me though. I think it's really fun the way that you can buy the little kits just like with everything in it. And because it almost seems like a little bit of like a paint by number, stitch by number situation, I think it'll be a lot easier for me to pick up and put down. So that is my hypothesis. We will see as I get going if that is the case. But given how much I love audiobooks, I also thought it could be a really good hobby for just sitting and listening to audiobooks. So I'm really selling myself on the idea of that I'm going to be a big needlepoint girl. Watch me hate it. I have a feeling I'm gonna love it though. We'll see. I'm gonna start figuring this out. Okay, I'm back with a needlepoint update. So I figured out what I was doing, I think, at least for the first few rows of just like solid color. I've completed 3 like rows here at the top and I'm on my 4th one now. I ended up just watching Abby's new vlog that came out while I did this. But when I was doing that, I was thinking this is going to be amazing for audiobooks. It's just like a great multitasking hobby. Like I could watch a movie and do this, which I'm just really excited for because I'm really trying to get off my phone and not be like scrolling while like watching TV or watching a movie. And so even if I'm not listening to an audiobook, I just think this will be such a good hobby just to like have. Will say I definitely wish I had stretcher bars. They're basically these like wood things that go on the side to kind of like hold the canvas taut, and then you use like pins and like pin it down to the wood. I also think it would be nice to have something like sturdier of a frame to hold on to while I'm doing the threading, because this is like flimsy in my hand, and so just having something more sturdy to hold on to I think could be nice. But yeah, I'm really excited to continue this hobby. Obviously it's not one that like you're gonna do the whole thing in one night, and honestly I'm sure I'll get probably faster at it. I'm just still kind of like learning. It is already now 10:15 though, so I think I'm just gonna go get in bed and read on my Kindle. So I'm gonna go brush my teeth, hit the hay. I want to get a good sleep score on my Aura ring tonight. Taking care of myself and filling up my own cup goes beyond just reading and doing cozy hobbies. It also includes the basics, which is drinking water and sleeping enough. So I'm gonna go to bed, but I will see you tomorrow. It's the next day, so today is Monday. It's just about 5 p.m. now. I just finished my work from home day. You're just now hearing from me because I ended up having a really busy work day. So that's that on that. And I'm standing for this update because I've been sitting at my desk all day and I just needed to stand. I'm just kind of like tired and I'm like over it. It's Monday and I feel like my restful self-care weekend unfortunately is over, and I'm trying to like rechannel that energy now that I'm done with work for the day. I actually started The Love Haters on my Kindle last night. I ended up reading this for a little bit before I fell asleep last night, and I got 15% of the way into the book. I'm on chapter 5, and honestly I'm liking this so far. It's not on my May TBR, so I'm feeling a little bit naughty and rebellious, but this book is actually being released tomorrow on New Release Tuesday, and I thought it'd be fun to read it together in this video because I just love reading arcs like right when they're coming out and talking about them with you guys, hopefully in a timely manner. And even though it's not on my May TBR, I thought we could help my NetGalley ratio because I did get this e-arc from NetGalley, and honestly that's kind of my plan for the rest of the night. I was thinking about just like laying on the couch or in bed and binge reading that book for the rest of the evening. Okay, The Love Haters by Catherine Center. Let's talk about it. I don't have the cover on my Kindle e-arc version, so I'm just gonna put it here, but I just thought I'd give you guys a quick plot synopsis, and since I'm about 15% of the way through, maybe some first impressions too. For context, I have read 2 other Catherine Center books in the past. I've read The Bodyguard and The Rom-Commers. I honestly really liked The Bodyguard. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was just like a solid 4-star romance. So last year when The Rom-Commers came out, I was really excited to read another book from Catherine Center, and I ended up picking that one up in a vlog I did last summer that I'll link down below, where I read only new release summer romance books for a week. And honestly, The Rom-Commers kind of let me down a little bit. It just felt a lot more like women's fiction than romance, which is okay. I love women's fiction. I just want it to be marketed like that. And I feel like these books are really marketed as romance books and they just don't always read like that. So interested to see how I feel about this one. I'm definitely going in with expectations of it being more women's fiction oriented. Before I start yapping away about it, let me give you a quick plot synopsis. Love Haters is following our main female character, Katie Vaughn. And the story starts off with Katie being asked to do a specific work project. She really can't say no because everyone is getting laid off. And Cole, who's not her manager, but is like superior to her, is kind of saying, Katie, like if you do this and you do a good job, like it'll prevent you from getting laid off too. So of course she's like, okay, what do I need to do? And what her job is that she's a video producer, kind of like an agency. So the US Coast Guard, I guess, is a client of this agency, and they basically need to make like a promo video for the US Coast Guard. And the funny thing is that Katie doesn't really know what the Coast Guard is. So she's pitched that she's going to be like the perfect person to do this job. She has that like outside perspective and she'll be able to kind of explain it to people who don't know what it is, which I think is a decent take. So the project is all set in Key West. So Katie's going to need to travel from Texas to shoot, film, and edit this whole video. So the concept for the promo video is that Katie's actually going to kind of profile this famous Coast Guard rescue swimmer named Tom Hutchison, but he goes by Hutch. And here's the twist. Katie's superior at work who kind of gave her this assignment, his name's Cole, and Cole is Hutch's brother. So lots of layers here. I think the reason that Cole gave Katie this assignment is that Cole and Hutch don't really get along. So I think there's going to be some messiness there too. That's kind of the setup, honestly. A few basic thoughts on the book so far. First of all, I feel like the name The Love Haters is too similar to the name The Rom-Commers. I keep calling it The Rom-Commers in my head and I'm like, wait, that's not this one. That was last year's. I don't know why. I just feel like they're just a little too similar. So not a critique of the book itself, but just kind of the marketing. Like I feel like Catherine Center is a really good writer. It's just, I feel like she's marketed as this like fluffy romance author. But I feel feel like if we just like took the branding and kind of like made it a little more women's fiction, didn't do such like a cartoon neon cover. I don't know exactly what I would do to like rebrand or remarket Catherine Center. Okay, talking briefly about first impressions from the first 15%, really it's just been a lot of setup so far. Basically everything from the synopsis has been slowly unfolding, and now Katie's finally in Key West. It also randomly enough is set in like October, so if you wanted to wait and read it towards the end of the summer, early fall, I feel like it would be good then too. But I do think it's going to be a cute like summer read for sure. I doubt like when you read it is really going to matter, but I just thought I'd flag that for all my seasonal mood readers. I also will flag that there's been a lot of talk of like body dysmorphia, kind of like eating disorders, and just wanted to flag that as a trigger because it's definitely heavily talked about so far in the book, and kind of like almost like self-help themes. And it's almost like self-help repackaged as fiction, which is fun if you're in the mood for that. If you totally hate that, I wanted to let you know that that's definitely in here. It does just seem like our main female character, Katie, struggles a lot with her self-worth, and I think that's going to be a big part of the journey in this story. So curious to see how I feel about that part of the plot. I will say I'm really liking the aspect of Katie's job being a video producer. There are also parts of Katie that I don't completely identify with or resonate with. Those are kind of my first impressions. I'm excited to keep reading. I'm just gonna probably try to walk on the walking pad for a bit and then just chill and read for the rest of the night. So I'll keep you posted on all my thoughts. I wanted to check in for a reading update. I am officially halfway through the Love Haters. I was about to say the rom-commers. You guys know how I feel about this. So yeah, I've crossed the halfway point. It is 8:22. I feel like I can do it. My Kindle says I have 2 hours and 18 minutes left in the book. I don't know if I believe that or not. I figure I'll just keep reading and we'll see. Honestly, the whole book is reading a little bit like something that was inspired by Top Gun. Was it called Maverick? Was that the new one? Or I guess just Top Gun? I don't know. I just was getting this like Top Gun vibe because earlier in the book when Katie was doing some shots of Hutch, she was like, put your aviators back on. They made you look cool. It's almost like Valley Girl comes to town, which she's not like a Valley Girl, but because she knows nothing about the Coast Guard, she shows up and she's like, wow, like that's quite the chopper. And they're like, we don't call them choppers. It's a pretty funny, like grumpy sunshine kind of vibe with a bit of that humor of like, oh my gosh, she's not like ditzy. She's just like bringing energy and trying to like make things less awkward by making conversation. And then it's met with like the expertise of people who like do this for their job who are like, excuse me, is it a literary masterpiece? No, but I'm having fun. This is just like a fun little summer read. I do want to reiterate my trigger warning around eating disorders, body dysmorphia, weight struggles, body positivity, just all that in general is talked about a lot, like every couple pages. That's really where I think a lot of the growth for Katie is in this book with like the women's fiction element. But what I'm not loving as much with the book, it does feel a lot like, oh, she can't see her own beauty until like Hutch sees it for her. I just hate it when the guy has to like show her how beautiful she is for her to believe it. And I feel like that's a little bit of the case here. It is just like a little frustrating though, because even though that can be the real experience, it's not always like the most healthy experience. And that's not like the long-term end game path to self-love. Oh, and one other thing I'm not loving about the book is that Hutch has been referred to as an alpha twice now by Katie. She's like trying to portray him as this like alpha type. And I'm done with the word alpha. Like it's, knock it off. The only time I will accept alpha is in like maybe a fantasy, like a werewolf, you know, kind of romance book or something. But for me, it has no place in contemporary fiction. I'm so over the toxic masculinity alpha mindset. Like it's just gross. And I find that the men who think they're the alphas usually aren't. And Hutch isn't thinking that about himself. I'm just not like loving that projection from Katie. It hasn't made me not like Hutch, but I just don't like that that was included really in general. But I will say this book just has a really casual writing style that makes it so addicting. It's so easy to binge, almost like an Elsie Silver, but not spicy at all. All this to say, not a perfect book by any means, but I'm having fun. And I'm definitely giggling and kicking my feet, like laughing a lot. I'm gonna stop yapping, get back to reading because I want to try to finish it tonight. That is the goal. We'll see if I can do it. This is just like a fun little challenge I spontaneously threw in this video, but it's really helping me like reconnect with my love of reading. I feel like lately reading has felt like not a chore, but just something that's a little bit more like strategic where I'm like, oh, I want to read this book for this video and I want to wait and save that one for that. Where it's just like fun to sit down and read a book and just like not worry about it. And so that's what I'm doing tonight and I'm having so much fun. So this ending is so stupid, so dumb. Oh my God. I just feel like the way that this book has gone at the end, it feels like a telenovela. Like it does not feel real. It's so insane. Like the first half of this book was so much better than the second half of this book. I feel like it just went so downhill for me. This is just insane. This is psychotic. Okay, so I finished The Love Haters. It's 11:22 p.m. So I completed my challenge. This was a really fun challenge and I'm just honestly feeling more like myself again than ever. It's funny how the books I build up to be a big deal in my head, like the Emily Henry read, can be one that's actually harder for me to connect with and like have fun with and enjoy because it's such an anticipated release. Whereas like this one by Catherine Center, I just spontaneously decided to start reading it. I had literally no expectations, honestly probably pretty low expectations, and then just ended up having a ton of fun with it. I feel like it's just a good reminder for myself. I'm trying to get my thoughts together on this book. I have so many thoughts. Here's the thing, when thinking about the actual book, like the critical rating, I think it's closer to a 3. But when thinking about my experience, like I was laughing a lot. It was so entertaining, but in like the silliest way. I think my biggest criticism of this book is just kind of how some of the body image stuff was handled. I feel like for some people, the way that it's handled and talked about could really, really resonate. And then for others, it could just be triggering. I know earlier I was talking about how Katie was like kind of getting some of her worth from how Hutch viewed her, but we did kind of come back around where she kind of realized, it says, I didn't need a rescue swimmer to think I was beautiful. I could do that for myself. It was such a life-changing thought, blah, blah, blah. So she did kind of come to that realization. So we did get there. The very ending was just like so crazy though. Like I literally was like, am I hallucinating? Like Katie thought she was hallucinating literally in the book with what was happening at the end. And I was like, you're hallucinating, I'm hallucinating. Anyway, but you know what? I had fun. So that's why I'm just kind of feeling all over the place and a bit conflicted. I'm probably gonna sleep on my final rating, but I had a lot of fun reading this tonight. Okay, I wanted to give some final thoughts on The Love Haters. I ended up giving it a 3.5 stars. Also, shameless plug to my Goodreads. I'm constantly updating it. I was sharing a bunch of updates as I did this chaotic reading last night. So if you follow me on there, you may be able to connect the dots that this vlog is from that night. And I've been enjoying writing some more thorough reviews on Goodreads lately. So if you want written out thoughts, that's a great place to go. I actually saw something on someone's story recently that said bad movies that are entertaining are better than good movies that are boring. And that got me thinking, honestly, kind of the same with books. And I'm not saying this is a bad book, but it's just not a book I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is literature, you know? But it was just fun, okay? It was fun. The body image stuff is definitely going to be hit or miss for a lot of people. I feel like this was my review with Catherine Center last year. I was literally sitting in this chair. I just wish Catherine Center would lean a little bit more into the women's fiction genre and really promote her books as such. Women's fiction is where she really does shine. Honestly, if she did a little bit of magical realism too, I just feel like she could really get into like that side of the genre and it would be perfect. I think I just keep falling for the marketing of her books that they're going to be more like a quick, fun rom-com. And it's more of like a women's fiction comedy drama usually, which I still love. I just think it's important to go into books with the right expectation in order to get the most out of it. I'm prepping you. These are the expectations you should have if you want to read it. I found the writing so bingeable. I definitely would read something from Catherine Center again. I think I just need to constantly remind myself of the expectations I should have despite her marketing. Yeah, those are overall my thoughts on The Love Haters. But I actually have 2 more things I want to do to wrap up this vlog and round it out. And they both have to do with kind of refreshing my space. My boyfriend Anders and I have been living in our apartment for almost 2 years now. And while it's so great to renew your lease and not have to worry about moving, it also can get a little stale staying in the same kind of small space for multiple years. And so especially in the spring or when I'm in a little bit of a rut, I like to think about ways I can kind of refresh the space without having to like rearrange the furniture or just invest in expensive things that I shouldn't be spending money on. So I have 2 small but very fun little projects I want to do tonight. To get us started with the first one, I actually have a package to open. This bad boy came to the mailroom today while I was working from home and I was so excited. This is from Quince and it's actually some new sheets for our bed. So let's open it. I'm so excited. Okay, I've never ordered anything from Quince before, but I've heard really great things. I basically wanted some linen sheets for our bed for the summer. It gets really hot in our bedroom, especially during the warmer months. So I thought having like a nice lightweight linen sheet set would just be so nice. Plus I've been seeing gingham linen sheet sets like all over Pinterest and Instagram the past few months and consider me influenced. They're just like this blue-gray gingham pattern. I'm going to throw these in the wash. I'm actually also remembering that I have some laundry I need to fold too. So I may put on my audiobook and do that as well. Just get some things done. Okay, I put my laundry away. The sheets are in the dryer. I am just on a roll tonight. We are being productive. We are getting things done. So as a reward for all of my productivity, I wanted to do something fun. Also, sorry about the lighting. The sun is going down, so we're working with some funky shades, but that's okay. This is the other thing I wanted to do tonight to kind of reset my space, refresh the apartment. I saw on social media a couple months back, everyone making these little matcha stations and setting them up. Of course, I was completely obsessed. I love matcha. It became a big obsession of mine this time last year, the obsession just continues to grow. So I thought like kind of romanticizing making matcha at home would help me save money in the long run and just make me happy and be something fun to do. So I got this little matcha bar stand thing on Amazon, and I actually built this last night, but I'm really excited to have this as my little shelving unit for my matcha station. So we're gonna put everything on here. Another thing I ordered for the matcha station, just to make this extra fun and happy, is I ordered this matcha print on Etsy. It's from Homebird by Hannah. I'll be sure to link it down below. And the frame is also from Etsy. It's from a different shop, but I'll link both the items down below. So we're gonna put this with the matcha station. My original vision was to kind of like put it on one of the walls on the side of the kitchen and then have the matcha station be right next to it. But I'm starting to rethink that because I feel like we could combine the matcha station with like a coffee bar, because we do have a Nespresso right here. And I feel like it'd be a little bit weird to separate the matcha station from the Nespresso. So I'm thinking that this is gonna be like the coffee bar area, and then we're gonna rearrange some other things. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. Okay, I'm really happy with how I reorganized the kitchen. You probably don't care. Honestly, it's hard to care when it's not your kitchen because your kitchen doesn't look like my kitchen, I'm sure. Yours looks different, so this isn't very helpful. I had to play around with this quite a bit because I wanted to ultimately have the matcha print cover up the cords from the Nespresso. I had the Nespresso down here because there is a plug down here, but it just didn't work to have the matcha sign to the left and then the coffee and then the matcha. Like I wanted the matcha sign to be next to the actual matcha bar. So that's how I landed on this design. I put the little station in the middle. So now I get to do the super fun part, which is setting up the actual matcha station. Okay, I feel pretty good about this. I'm sure it'll get rearranged many a times, but I think she looks cute. We've got the two little syrups on the top, as well as like my metal scooper. And then this is kind of my second tier bowl because I like the green one more, so I put it back here. And then with each bowl, I just put a sifter like on top of it because you always need to use one with the other. So I just thought that was a better way to kind of store them. Then I've got my matcha sundae matcha here. I feel like she's nice to kind of display. And then my pink whisk. And then down below we have the jade leaf matcha, the two bamboo scoopers, the jar, and then my other whisk. And then here to the left, I have a temperature controlled kettle. And to the right, we have my matcha print. I saw on someone's Instagram story that they had this print with their matcha station. I can't remember who. So if anyone knows, let me know, because I'm not trying to take credit. I definitely was inspired by someone. I just cannot remember whose story I saw it on. So that is the matcha station. I am obsessed. I cannot wait to make a matcha in the morning. Okay, friends, the sheets are dry. Let's put them on the bed. All right, guys, I've got my matcha station set up for tomorrow morning. I've got the clean sheets on the bed. I'm just feeling like this is the perfect way to end off the vlog. So I think that's gonna be everything for today. This wasn't like a perfect reset vlog because nothing in life is perfect. It's all about finding the harmony. It felt really good just to slow down, clear my head a bit, spend some time with myself. I definitely am feeling a bit more clear-headed, a bit more like myself again, and that was the goal of the vlog, so I was glad we were able to do it together. If you've been in a bit of a rut too, I hope this vlog gave you some inspiration or some comfort, and I really encourage you all to take care of yourself, even in small or slow ways. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below with the disco ball emoji so I can know who made it to the end. And in case you missed my last video, it was a really fun weekly reading vlog. I actually had to travel for work, so I bring you guys along with me on that and just share what I'm reading and doing. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, but I will see you super soon in my next video. Bye everyone.